go ahead and start. That's me. Well, good morning, Rotarians and friends. It's a gray day up here in Trinidad. I am working remotely from my dad's place, and happy to have a long anniversary weekend this weekend with my 28-year wife, Elizabeth. So that's where my mind is today. We are going to open this meeting with induction of sorts. And, and last week I actually missed his induction. And I got to say, it's the best possible reason ever. As explained, he was called into an emergency at work to work a vaccine, or what was it about? Wow.
180
so
people.
Of all the reasons, man, you had a great one. Thanks for doing that. But we're glad to have you here today too. I'd like to go ahead and introduce visiting Rotarians. I know we have Hyder Agina on the call from Southwest Eureka, and he'll have a special announcement for us in a little bit this morning. And with my apologies, I'm going to ask for your help. Any other visiting Rotarians on the call today? None seen. Any guests of Rotarians? Holly, I see you there. Say hello. Won't be a guest for much longer. I would like to turn this over to you to conduct our formal and unfortunately remote induction ceremony for Ken.
Here, Ian. We're here again this week, and Kenneth, I'm so excited to bring you on as a new member. So fellow Rotarians, it's my privilege and pleasure today to conduct an induction ceremony to bring in our newest member to our club. Ken Pocasangre was proposed for membership by Ian Schatz. This proposal has been reviewed by the membership committee in accordance with our club constitution and bylaws, and his name has been circulated, and his application for membership has been approved. Woohoo! Rotary is defined as a volunteer organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide to provide humanitarian service and help build goodwill and peace. Club members meet weekly to plan service projects, discuss community and international issues, and enjoy fellowship. Clubs are non-religious, non-political, open to individuals of diverse backgrounds. Rotary encourages high ethical standards in all vocations while striving to live and work by the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill, better friendships, and will be beneficial to all? Can we now proceed to admit you into the membership into the Rotary Club of our Gonzales? We welcome you both to the friendship of Rotary throughout the world, the ideal of Rotary's service, which is why our motto is service above self. And the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal as a basis of worthy enterprise, and you are to share in this effort. And you've been approved for membership in this club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your vocation, are interested in the ideals of Rotary, and willing to do your share in translating these ideals into action. You've agreed to accept the obligations of membership in this club as people of action and to obey our club's constitution and bylaws. Ian, your sponsor, will be delivering your Rotary pin, which is the emblem of the Rotary wheel, which we hope you will wear with pride of being a Rotarian, but also with the humility of service. And at this time, looks like Ian has it up. We're presenting you with your red badge, which is the symbol of a new club member. As a new member, there's a path you'll follow as you achieve your blue badge status. And I know you'll achieve this in a timely manner. The new member packet, which I will email here in just a moment, contains information for you about our Rotary Club and about Rotary International. You'll have many questions in the coming weeks, and I encourage you to seek the answers from your sponsor. Your mentor is Craig Newman, members of the membership committee, our president, or any club member for that matter. It is my pleasure, on behalf of the board of directors and the entire club membership, to welcome you to the Rotary Club of Arcata Sundays. Happy the newest Rotarian in the world, but not newest, Cassandra. And since this induction ceremony is being conducted via Zoom, and we normally this time for our Kenneth, I don't know if you can share.
I chose Rotary because I love to stay busy and make a difference in the community. Whether people acknowledge it, the symbol of Rotary anywhere, it just shows that we're working behind the scenes to just keep everyone as happy as possible. And also, I just love Arcata so much. Ever since the first day I came here 8 years ago on my recruiting trip to Oklahoma State, I fell in love with Arcata, and it was love at first sight being in Arcata, and this is the perfect club to be in. And I want to continue doing that for many and many more years to come.
Yay. Well, I'm so excited. I feel the same way. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Ken. I have, when Ken reached out to ask about a club, for me, it was an instant, yes, please, because I've seen Ken as active in our Rotaract and in our community from afar for many, many years. And I happened to meet up with him at a youth exchange gathering down in Fortuna at a friend's house. And man, just the energy when you're talking with Ken is clear that he's enthusiastic and dedicated to the things he does. And, just before he even was inducted in the club, he showed up at our yard sale fundraiser and dove right in and helped out. And so I know, Ken, you're going to be awesome in this, as you have been already, and all the other Rotaract related roles that you've participated in. So thank you for choosing us. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Up next, we've got visiting Rotarian Hyder Gina, and who happens to also be in a very important, very busy district role as the chairperson for the district youth exchange program. And he's been working hard and for quite a while now on a fundraiser. And I'd like to have him tell us about why and what we're doing here.
Thank you very much, Ian. I've had the distinction of being chair for Youth Exchange that hasn't sent a kid outbound yet, thanks to COVID and all it's done to us. However, we're keeping the program and we're fine-tuning it. We're keeping it in front of everybody. We're fine-tuning it to make sure the process is simpler, easier, and we're also trying to bring the costs down to the clubs and especially to the kids. And the district's been helping us, and we came up with the idea for a golf tournament fundraiser about a year ago, or almost 2 years ago, as a fundraiser to boost the program financially, to bring the cost down to the kids and the clubs. So we have a golf tournament coming up on September 25th. We're going to be observing all of COVID guidelines that the county has. We have people coming up all the way down from Petaluma to play and participate and volunteer and have good times. So you can support us through participating as a golfer, register to come and have good times, play a round of golf at a premier golf course up here in Northern California. You can support us by sponsoring. You can support us by buying raffle tickets, and can support us with your talent if you want to come and help us with registration and things like that as well. Very much appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. We're planning on bringing the program back up and running. We're starting the search process right now for youth as your YEOs. And I guess you're collaborating with McKinleyville and Arcata as well, which is an excellent way to pool resources. And we hope to be able to send kids out this summer coming up in 2022. Anybody have any questions?
Hyder, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Would you accept? I'd like to dedicate a $250 level sponsor. I believe that was for a whole sponsor out
Yes.
of my club's discretionary presidential fund. You know, youth
Thank
exchange
you.
is near and dear to my heart, and I really feel strong that this to bring the cause, students, the family, and financial support to be able to do this. You know, these are can do, but they've got to have having these funds available to students that couldn't otherwise do it is hugely important. So thank you for organizing this.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for giving me the time to talk about it and let everybody know what's going on. Thanks, Ian.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Rotary Club of Arcata Sunrise, for sponsoring a whole. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns for our comments for Hyder? All right.
Thank you, folks.
See, Carol, are you on the call this morning?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Tell us about what's going on tomorrow.
All right, it's that time again. If you are like Kenneth and you're a Rotarian who wants to keep busy doing good things out in the world, this is a really easy way to come out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And it's out in Manila at the Humboldt Coastal Nature Center. We meet there. That's that little house that looks buried in the dunes off of Stamps Lane. Get there, get your vest, get your helmet, get your picker, and go out with a partner, and we clean up a stretch of Highway 255. It's very straightforward and satisfying. The more people we get, the quicker it goes. I know that we, maybe this is a little spur of the moment. Some of you are like, I didn't know this, and you're gonna check to see if you could make the time to do this. So if you think that you are up for checking in, coming out, seeing if this will fit into your schedule, you can hit the farmer's market afterwards or before. We really need your help out there. So maybe you could, in the chat, let me know if you're like, I'm gonna make it, or I'm gonna see if I can make it. I'd appreciate that. We need to have pairs for safety reasons, and it's part of our responsibility in cleaning up the highway and keeping it beautiful out there. So, oh yes, I see some people. I'll be there. I'll be there. Thanks, Amanda, Sophie, and maybe some of you will check in and see if you could make it. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, those of you who can make it to the Nature Center.
Thanks for keeping this going every month, Carol. It's really important. You know, makes a difference. You visibly, instantly after we've been there, you can see the difference driving through there. And you know, it's given the times, it's very nice to have a club activity that can be safely done outdoors, mostly at a distance from each other. So this is one of those things. You know,
One of those things.
we do what we can when we can, and this is one of them that we can.
Yeah.
So thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. See you tomorrow.
I have a bunch of recognitions that I've been kind of accumulating for a few weeks here, and I'm not going to be able to fit them all in. Joyce gave me a few more last night, but we'll do what we can here. First of all, you know, this is near and dear to Charlie's own heart and family, and we see several of our Rotarians here showing up. So Charlie and Romi and Ken and excuse me, Charlie, if you'd like to say a couple words about your experience with this race.
So this was the 8th annual race, remembering Kevin and honoring him. We expected about 60, maybe 70 people to show up. We ended up with over 160 signing up, and over 130 showed up, which was just amazing. And everybody practiced safe distancing, and it was very wonderful and very heartfelt. And as you can see, these are our Rotarian runners, and I didn't run this year. I handed out dog tags and just a little recognition for everybody that completed it. And yeah, it was a tough run. So anybody that did it was definitely earned that. And we really appreciate it. This year, the funds that we raised went to the dunes and to support that. So yeah, we were very, very happy about that. And we know Kevin would have liked that as well. So thank you all that supported, really appreciated that.
Ken, I understand you received special placement of some kind through your efforts.
Placement.
Ken,
Um,
how did you fare in this race? I know you're quite the runner.
So I didn't run, but Romi did really well.
Romy did. Tell us about it,
Romi,
Romy.
tell us, yes.
No. Ken, how did you do in the race?
It was one of the most difficult races I've done in the last 5 years. And this race practically defines Kevin as a human being who took the sacrifice to go abroad, and his lifestyle shows how much he loved this community. And this course was pure toughness. Like if I were to grade it a 10, it would be a 10. And these hills were not forgiving at all. And I think the only reason I had an advantage was because I've been running in these hills for the last 8 years. Otherwise, the female who finished right behind me would have easily have taken over the race, but I wasn't just gonna give it up that easily. And it was a lot of fun. Everyone was socially distancing, and everyone was wearing their face masks and everything. It was a very well organized event.
Kevin's
Yeah.
Kevin's teammate said he was a gentle soul that was tough as nails, and the 10K plus is more like a 12K, and it has 22% grade hills in it. So you definitely are tough as nails if you finish that. And Ken kicked butt. You did awesome.
And that's saying a lot for Ken to call it a tough course, because I know you also run marathons, and I'm not a runner, so I have deep admiration for folks that get out there and plow through that. So thanks for being there.
Be sure that there is a place for everyone to participate. However, don't be intimidated. There's a 2 mile, and
I'll stay on my bike.
everyone can be part of it.
Very good. Thank you. Up next, we had some folks in our club got caught in the act of service above self. So Craig sent me this picture, so I know Craig must have been there too. But that looks to me like AJ and Nick up there messing with our greenhouse that we framed up last spring. AJ or Nick, you want to tell us a little bit about what you're up to there? I think you were preparing it for more work for us.
Yeah, we wanted to get the roof work done because it required ladders and coordination, and you can only put a panel at a time because it's got to like follow this certain pattern to get it across and have it overlap a certain way. But that part is done, and actually I will get a sign up genius going out, and hopefully next weekend we can get a small group to put up the sides for this greenhouse, and then maybe look into some shelving on the inside. But all it takes is a cordless drill and a quarter size socket, because that's what all the screws are using. And so if you have one of those, get it charged up, and hopefully we'll see you out next weekend.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That's yet another opportunity for us to do things outdoors safely, and it's a great project, and we've got more coming on that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Thanks for getting it ready for us. Howard, I know you're on the call. I have a special recognition for Howard. These are some photos of the schoolwork we're doing in the Swat Valley, and when Howard told me what he'd done, I was just about in tears of just joy and appreciation. Our World Community Service Committee this year had $2,000 available for this, in large part because Howard offered a triple matching fund to inspire the committee to grant that money to the project. And so all in all, Howard matched that $2,000 with another $6,000. And we're sending $8,000 to the next phase of that school project. Howard, would you like to say a few words about what we're doing? And good gosh, thank you so much for such generosity.
Yes, my wife and I have been saving all our lives to put ourselves in a position where we can make contributions like this. And it's such a great bunch of projects. As many of you know, there's absolutely no administrative costs here. The labor is done by the villagers on a volunteer basis. The land is contributed by the villagers. Each of these schools is serving several hundred kids. Basically, all the children in each of these villages, and half of them are girls. This is not just boys attending school without the girls being at home. So it's just a wonderful bunch of projects, and I can't thank our club enough for doing this. It's also very gratifying to be helping people with a different culture, a Muslim culture. I spent a year in Malaysia among Muslims and felt very welcome and comfortable. So thanks to the club for all you're doing in supporting these school projects.
Well, Howard, thank you for providing the generous and enthusiastic inspiration for our club to stay involved in this. You know, the quote I put in there, "In service to people we may never meet," that's exemplary of that, and also fits right in with our concerted efforts as a club to expand our diversity, equity, and inclusion, not just in our own community, but worldwide. So thank you very much for your service and contributions, Howard. I have another recognition. This one goes out to Nick Torres, who we had a great conversation over the last couple of weeks, and we brought that idea to the board that we had in service. And so the board of directors has been grateful and happy to appoint Nick Torres as our new director under the Youth Activities Avenue of Service. And Nick, you know, we know you're already doing so much and appreciate that. And so part of the conversation that Nick and I had was that he did agree it's time to start mentoring folks into the larger part of the role that he does, leading our Sergeant at Arms committee. So look for open opportunities there. It's not that Nick is ready or wanting to get out of that, but there are opportunities to help understand what all he does and develop yourself into another role in the club. Nick, do you have any thoughts on joining the board here? Maybe I didn't quite make the connection, but there he is.
Yeah, I got it. So no, I mean, it's kind of along the lines of what I'm doing already. So I think that I'm involved with a lot of committees that are part of that avenue. So I think it's a good fit for me, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for coming on board. Nick, I know it's early in the meeting, so we can come back to this if we need to, but do we happen to have a raffle available yet?
Yeah, we do.
Great, let's do it.
All right. Thank you for everybody who participated. Let me shuffle up the names real quick. All right. So let's get to going. All right, so we have Lisa as the first winner. And again, the pot is $80 if you get the blue ball, and $5, I'll send that to you through Venmo. And I have one more. And Craig. Both Lisa and Craig participate pretty much every week. So this is getting their money back. All right, $5. So we still have a lot of balls in here. So we will end up probably building up a lot more money before we get it. Hopefully we'll be able to get it around the time we have another Final Friday. And you can have extra money to spend. Thank you guys for participating.
Thank you, Nick. Next, I have a special I don't just being in. We have a Rotary, and so without further ado, I'll let you know why Jessica, Brandy, Tom, Howard, and Matt are now multi-Paul Harris fellows. And I do have pins for all of you. Jessica is a +3 now. Brandy's a +3. Tom's a +3. Howard's a +4. And Matt, I don't know that I saw you on the call here. Are you here, Matt? Not this morning? Well, you know, Matt's out having fun doing other things he likes to spend money on, but +8, oh my gosh. Wow. So for those on the call that don't know yet, because we do have some a guest and a newer member, the Paul Harris Fellowship is a contribution to the Rotary Foundation in a $1,000 amount, and that can be over time. So, you know, it may be that you choose to put in $10 a month or $100 every other month or whatever you choose. This is a long-term commitment to funding the Rotary Foundation that helps the entire organization beyond our club. And in some ways, as you'll see in a moment, our club itself fund the activities that we do worldwide. Of course, ending polio is one of the major projects, but every other avenue of Rotary service in some part is touched by the Rotary Foundation. And so each time a member contributes another $1,000 to the foundation. The first Paul Harris is a Paul Harris Fellowship, and the second is a +2, and the third, and so on. So each of those pluses is another $1,000 toward the Rotary Foundation to do good in the world. Thank you, Jessica, Brandy, Tom, Howard, and Matt. If any of you have any words to share about what inspires you to contribute, we'd love to hear from you. Jessica and Brandy, I know I saw you on the call. Any thoughts about the Rotary Foundation and why you contribute?
You know, for me, I was a Peace Corps volunteer in West Africa, and I saw the impacts of polio firsthand. And I'm just really proud to be part of an organization that is getting rid of that disease, and that we're down to just a couple of countries left. And that's really inspiring. And so that's a big motivator for me.
Keeping it going. Thank you. Speaking of things that the Rotary Foundation funds, AJ in particular has done quite a bit of work for the Community Service Committee this year in organizing a district grant application. And AJ, you want to share the good news here?
Yeah, we in this past week were notified that this grant was approved. So excited that in the spring we'll have an exciting project. And I want to give an honorable mention to Romi, because she's definitely helped me with reaching out to Lonnie, helped with the grant application, and huge thank you to this club to make this happen for Peninsula Union School. So thank you.
That's fantastic. And you know, over the years, we've done so much at the school, out of Peninsula Union, starting with those garden beds that we have put together, and the greenhouse that is well underway and nearing completion. And then, of course, all that needs water. And what better than to catch it from the sky and not just let it run away into the sand there. So, you know, it's a win-win, because eventually that water, of course, goes back where it was headed anyway, but we use it for a different purpose in between. So I'm really excited for this project. And AJ and Romi and anybody else who touched it, thank you so much for getting us a well-written, excellent, competent proposal that was grant worthy. So thank you. And this is one of the ways that the Rotary Foundation does come back to our club and our community. So thank you for all your work on that. Also, speaking of the Rotary Foundation, before I prepared this slide, and then after I set it up, I received a letter directly from our Polio Plus Committee Chair at Rotary International, Mike McGovern. And I'd like to share a few excerpts from that, because that is also part of the Rotary Foundation funding work. And this has to do with our polio efforts in Afghanistan. As the sun rose on the 1st of January this year, we were all worried about what this new year would bring. So far this year, we've only had 2 cases of wild polio virus in the world. That's down from 79 at that time last year. We are closing in. However, polio news is especially bad in Afghanistan at this time. Next week, the health minister gave hints of corruption on non-polio matters. UNICEF and the government of Afghanistan ordered UNICEF polio to leave the country relating to a verbal spat that occurred at the president's office. However, in March and June, there were coordinated attacks on polio workers and their security teams, leaving 8 families lost of their loved ones. The Taliban denied responsibility for these attacks, and it appeared the attacks were tied to elements in ISIS, or as they're known now, ISIL. We noted that some of the areas of the country had been subject to over 30 months of bans on house-to-house polio vaccinations. While all this was going on, other activities occurring, which have mostly been unreported. In January, regional directors of the World Health Organization and UNICEF met with the Taliban in an office in Doha, Qatar, to discuss polio vaccinations and COVID response. Well, the house-to-house polio vaccinations were not agreed to. 7 other senior members of Taliban leadership indicated support for other measures to provide vaccination activities. After the fall of the Afghanistan government in mid-August, the new leadership has agreed to keep on the acting health minister, who has been effective in writing the program since February. Taliban leaders have visited the national and regional polio offices and pledged their support for the polio eradication program. On the 23rd of August, a Rotary-sponsored roadside vaccination hub provided vaccinations to children under 5, with local Taliban providing the needed security. Rotary has just 35 members in Afghanistan. They inspire all of us daily with their courage and perseverance. The polio program has always been politically neutral in every country we serve. Rotary and our partners work with leaders who are in charge, whoever they may be. We now work with new leaders in Afghanistan. Rotary funds the World Health Organization and UNICEF. We do not send any funds to the governments nor groups other than those 2. We monitor spending they do on our behalf very closely. We have never been closer to reaching eradication of polio in Afghanistan. We will continue to work with Afghan people, our partners, to finish what we began 35 years ago. It's a tenuous time. However, because of Rotary's non-political, non-religious foundation and action, we are able to still be there. So everything we do in the Rotary Foundation is carefully monitored financially. The partners we choose to work with are very carefully selected and monitored. But you never know in the end who's going to help us get it done. So with an open mind and an open heart, let's hope that the new folks in charge keep their promises. And the world is watching and hoping that this goes the right way. So there is hope. Keep the faith.